Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of After the Buzzer Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Lee Jones. I got my co host, as always, the Hall of Famer, Mr. Marvin Owens. What's happening, Marv?
Man, what's going on? You got me nice and lathered up. We've already had some
Oh,
debates going on before, so we ready. Because Lee is talking some straight nonsense, everybody. I need you to know that. Well, let's go.
yeah. We had a great pre-show little explanation. We was going through it a little bit. We're going to get into it a little bit today. We got some great hot topics for you today. First thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the 92 Dream Team and compare it to the 2024 Olympic team. And we're going to say which is better. What would happen if they played? I want to get Marv's opinion on that, and I want to get you guys' opinion. The Dolphins, did they make the right choice in signing Tua to the $212 million contract, 4 years, $212 million? Who should start for the Steelers? Marv's a Steeler guy, so I want to know who should start, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? Then I want to really get into this. The five greatest running backs in NFL history. I need you guys to chime in on that. I know Marv gonna come with some stuff that I ain't gonna hear about, but I want you guys to chime in on that. This is another good one. Has the Big Ten passed the SEC for the best conference in college football? We know there are two additional teams coming in the SEC. We got four coming into the Big Ten. I want to know if the Big Ten has sort of creeped up on the SEC and maybe passed them. And then finally, I want to ask Marv, who is the best NFL quarterbacks 26 and under? I want to take out Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, but the other ones, under 26 and under, I want him to give me his five top quarterbacks, the other young guys. So we're going to jump right into it. We got a hot show. I'm lathered up. Marv is lathered up. Let's kick it off, Marv. Okay, Dream Team versus the 2024 Olympic team. Now, we saw the game today. Great game. The Olympic team came out, did what they needed to do. KD was special. LeBron was special. The team is starting to round themselves into shape. I like where they're at. Mark, we know that the Dream Team was the first, right? They were the first, and they had some great stars. 9 Hall of Famers on that team, right? 9 Hall of Famers on the Dream Team. But I'll throw out the caveat of this before I ask you this question, Mark. We know now that the world, as far as basketball, has caught up with the NBA players. So you can see all of these players from other countries that are on NBA teams right now. So I want to ask you the question, Hall of Famer. If which team is better, the 92 Dream Team or the 2004 Olympic team? The floor is yours, Mark.
Well, there's a caveat to this because they're still kind of forming here in the Olympics, so we don't know what the end result's going to be. But I'd be hard pressed to say that this team right now, if you asking me who I feel is better, Dream Team is always going to be the first. I don't care how far the world has progressed when it comes to basketball and how much better the world has gotten, because they have. So we do need to add that into this conversation, because the world has caught up. You got a lot more international NBA players than you did back then. So that is a fact. But you're looking at a team right now where, and to your point, you talked about Kevin Durant. You're talking about the stars that are in the back ends of their career that are powering this team, right? You got KD, you got LeBron, you got Steph Curry. If you don't have KD and LeBron be special, this team is in trouble, because you have a lot of guys who are unproven on the international level, from Booker to Edwards. And we know, I heard a thing today about how well Booker plays defense and how great he is an elite defensively. I don't know where the hell they got that from, because Booker has been average at best when it comes to defense in the NBA. So now all of a sudden he's going to become elite defensively. I just can't see it. Look, hell, this team is not even better than the 2018.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
goodness.
let's not. I mean, you have nothing but 3 stars that are on the back end of their career that are trying to propel this team that doesn't have a lot of experience when it comes to international play. I will take the 2018 before this. The Dream Team was better also because you had those guys still in their prime, right? Jordan was still in his prime. Barkley was still somewhat in his prime. They had just played in a NBA Finals against each other, I think, or the next year. Malone, Stockton, David Robinson. You had all these guys that were still in their prime. You got LeBron, KD, Curry on the back ends of their career. You got other guys like Davis and Embiid and Kawhi, who was part of this team, who's not even there because he's injured. They're oft injured. So I can't even put this team in the top 3 right now. And if they win the gold, then maybe that's a different story. I will put the damn 1984 Olympic team ahead of them with Wayman Tisdale and Patrick Ewing that we just had the conversation about, Chris Mullin, Alvin Robinson, which a lot of people don't know that name, but it will lock you up. So if you don't know who Alvin Robinson is, make sure you go take some Vern Fleming that played with the Pacers, that team that we were just kind of talking about. You had Sam Perkins on that team. I would take the 84 team before I would take this damn team. And I think they got the second highest margin of victory behind the 1992 team with a bunch of amateurs on that team. So they still got a lot to prove. But what I'm a little bit leery of is the fact that this team is comprised of stars on the back end of their career that are being asked to do a lot in a pool play and in an Olympics that is different than a lot of guys are used to. So I already said it. I came on record saying I don't know if they're gonna win the gold. I'm 50-50 on this. Okay, because if you trust in street clothes and dead leg to get you to a gold medal, then you might be in trouble. Dead leg is Joel Embiid, just for all you that may not know. So hell no, they're not better than the 92 team. They're not better than the 2018 with Kobe and those guys, and they're not better than the 84 team. Now, if they win a gold, then we can come back and have this conversation.
Anthony Davis is better than anybody on the Dream Team not named Michael Jordan. He's better than anybody that played on the Dream Team. Right now, Anthony Davis is better than everybody on the Dream Team that's name is not Michael Jordan, Marv. Anthony Davis is. Look at the man's accomplishment. He's better than anybody not named Jordan as far as his skill set.
What accomplishment.
Anthony Edwards will rival any other player. Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, Anthony Davis, better talent than any of those guys. You're throwing away all of the talent that they have. Steph Curry, the best shooter of all time, can shoot better than anybody that was on the original Dream Team. And we want Kevin Durant, greatest scorer probably of all time. He's better than anybody there. So this team has a case to say they're just as good. They'll never play right, but they're just as good. The fact that you said LeBron and KD, that's who they are. They're all-time greats. And LeBron, KD, and Steph could play in any era. And they would be the first, second, and third best players on that Dream Team, not named Michael Jordan.
Stop. Just please stop, man. The only two you got is Kevin Durant and LeBron, and I'll give you an R. Yes, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, but for you to bring Anthony Davis up into this conversation and Anthony Edwards, I'm not tripping on Anthony Edwards' talent. But you got to be kidding me when you say that you're trying to compare him. You're trying to compare him to some of the all-time greats to say that he's better than they are at this point in his career. You smoking weed.
What was everybody saying this year in the NBA? Wait a minute. Everybody, including you, and
care what everybody's saying. You never heard me say he was the next Mike. You never heard me say that.
Michael Jordan. All of you said he was the next Michael Jordan.
Never did I say that.
So was the consensus that he was the next Michael Jordan? Anthony Edwards.
I don't care what people say and have a consensus
if he's the next Michael Jordan, then why can't we bring him up in the conversation? If he's the next Michael Jordan, he has the skill set. He's a two-way player. And he's a better scorer than Scottie Pippen, and I think just as good of a defender as Scottie Pippen was. And there's nobody, not Stockton, not Drexler, that's better than Steph Curry as far as shooting the basketball. So they have snipers on both ends that'll score better. They have the rebounding.
Who in the hell on this team is going to guard anybody on that 92 team? Who besides LeBron and maybe Anthony Davis got a shot? Who the hell else is going to guard Magic or Clyde Drexler or John Stockton or Larry Bird?
Stop it. Larry Bird back was broke. Clyde Drexler was
and KD and LeBron. LeBron is 40 damn years old. He the best player on your Olympic team, and you trying to make an argument against the greatest collection of talent we've ever seen in their primes, and you trying to tell me a 40-year-old LeBron is better. Man, stop.
A 40-year-old LeBron is better than Clyde Drexler. He's better than Larry Bird. He's better
and
than
you know what Clyde
Chris
was?
Mullin.
You know what
He's
Clyde
better
was?
than Christian Laettner.
Stop,
He's
man.
better than
You know what Clyde
Charles
was?
Barkley.
This team has absolutely no bench. And don't sit up here and act like they do. They go about 7 deep. Tatum didn't even play. And you know why? Because of the matchup issues. And because of the matchup, as they get more into pool play, listen to what I'm saying, everybody who out here trying to talk about this damn team. When they get deeper into pool play, I'm telling you, this is the fruition that's going to happen. They are going to struggle. They have no depth and they have no defenders. And if you telling me Devin Booker is an elite defender, then I know damn well you reaching to try to make sure this team gets a goal and have something to say, because he ain't elite at shit.
He's an elite defender. He's an elite defender. Let's get some of the comments in on this thing, Marv. Sandra Keaton, come on, Lee. Norma Orange. There you go, Lee. What you smoking? That weed, okay. Kippy Bannister. Lee, could you please come back to earth? Larry Butts, please stop. Elliot Lyons. Dream Team is much better. This year's team will have to battle to win the goal, and we're pulling for them. The Dream Team would never be. Look, the Dream Team was playing against me, Marv, my son, his daughter. Them guys wanted to take pictures with the Dream Team because they were so in awe of the Dream Team. So you're saying they won by an average of 43 points because the guys, and at that time, basketball really wasn't the global sport that they are now. Every team that's playing now has 4 or 5 NBA quality players on their team right now. It's a totally different environment. But you guys want to talk about the Dream Team in present day, but they weren't playing anybody.
Hold on, Lee. Hold on. Hey, everybody who listening out there. This is a classic Lee shift the goalpost type moment. We didn't ask about the competition. You asked about who was better. Okay, the Dream Team can't go back and change the people from whoever they was playing trying to take pictures of them. They can't change the era that they played in, and neither can this team right now change the era that they're in. Everything progresses. It's called evolution, right? So if you're the best in the world, if you're the best in the damn world, then you go out there and prove it, right? And this team is going to struggle to win the gold medal. I don't care all the stuff that you're saying. When the 3 best players you got on your team are on the back end of their career, up in their upper 30s, and you expect them to go out and perform every damn night and carry this team, and you going to tell me this bench is better than the 92 Dream Team bench?
Marv, the 92 Dream Team.
Is that what you going to tell me?
Look, Mullin didn't play well. Laettner, Bird was hurt. Okay, Stockton was a shell of himself. What are you talking about a bench? They were 7 or 8 deep too. Both of the teams are 7 or 8 deep. But let me ask you this, Marv. Who on the Dream Team is better than Kevin Durant? Who on the Dream Team is better than LeBron James? Who on the Dream Team?
Are you talking about as scorers, or are you talking about in general?
Just as a player in general. Because it's certainly the only player that.
So you telling me that
players is Jordan. The rest
you telling me that Pippen is not giving Kevin Durant and LeBron James issues?
Let me say this.
You telling me he's not giving them issues?
I definitely wanted to hear that. There's no way on earth that Scottie Pippen can guard Kevin Durant. And if anybody says that, then I got to take your basketball card away from you. Scottie Pippen could not. Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall. Scottie Pippen is 6'7".
I saw Kevin Durant get locked up when he was at Oklahoma City.
Oh, give me a break. Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer in NBA history.
But see, here's the difference, Lee. Nobody is saying that you're going to lock Kevin Durant up. That's not what I'm saying, because he's one of the most talented scorers we've ever seen. But there is such a thing as making people work and making it difficult to do what they do well. And Scottie Pippen was the best at that. And Mike was the best at that. So don't act. Clyde Drexler was really good defensively when he wanted to be. Since you want to bring up Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards being lockdown defenders, then I'm going to bring up Clyde Drexler, because that's about what you sound like right now. So to act like that team would even sweat this damn thing. Anthony Davis is light in the ass, and we all know that, if he's even on the floor. Joel Embiid is a 7-foot jump shooter. So he will have to go down and guard Pat and Karl Malone and David Robinson, and he would get absolutely abused on the block.
Yeah. Larry Butts, foreign countries always played professionals in the Olympics. The U.S. played amateurs up until that point. Yeah, they did. But the skill level of the players that were playing for the foreign country, Larry, and thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you first time chiming in. Really, really appreciate you chiming in. The skill level was not there. Now, when you look at these teams and these players, they're loaded. They're loaded. And Marv, U.S. is going to run away.
Loaded. Man, stop, Lee. Okay.
Look, Canada, every player on Canada's team plays in the NBA. Every player on Canada's team plays in the NBA, Marv. Every player.
Hey, Lee. Bronny James is playing in the NBA now too. What does that mean?
There we go. Look. This is you keep harping on Anthony Davis. It's a shame that people don't give Anthony Davis the shine that he deserves. Anthony Davis will go down as, before his career over, Marv, probably one of the 2 or 3 best power forwards to ever play in the NBA.
Man, stop it.
Anthony Davis.
He better than Tim Duncan? He better than Karl Malone? He better than Tim Duncan?
I would say Anthony Davis will end up being better than Karl Malone. Tim Duncan, no. Karl Malone, yes. Karl Malone.
He better than Kevin Durant? I mean, he's better than Kevin Garnett.
I would say in the end, he'll be better than Kevin Garnett. Yes.
Man, we need to move on with this topic.
Yes. But a beautiful topic. Last words on the Dream Team versus the 24 Olympic team, Mark. Last word.
There is no word. I think everybody who's chimed in has pretty much said exactly what it is. You want some good today because I don't know what you're talking about, man. We all know. Thank you, Recycle Me. Tony Allen did. Tony Allen did give him hell. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's about how you affect what players do well. Thank you for bringing Tony Allen to the conversation.
Everybody has one bad game in them. Everybody does. But play them in a 7-game series, Kevin Durant will bust that you know what. Give me a break.
He did. They lost at Oklahoma City in the finals. He had 4 games to win. He couldn't do it.
My last word is Mark. The whole dream team, the only people that had championships was Jordan, Stockton, and Malone. Jordan, Magic, and that was it. And Bird. The rest of them never won anything.
I mean, that's 4 right there.
The rest of them never won anything. You guys
Stockton didn't have a championship.
Who does?
David Robinson had a championship. Irvin had a championship. Jordan, Pippen. David Robinson. Come on, man. Like, what you doing right now? You okay? Are you okay?
You guys keep harping on what was in the past. These guys are more athletic. They score the ball better. They have more size.
Had a championship.
They have more size than the Dream Team. Let me say this. Guys, they're just as equal, and they're going to win the gold medal. We're going to move on. Let's get to our next topic because I want to jump in. Thanks for all the comments. Keep them coming, even though y'all a little bit misguided today. The Dolphins signed Tua to a new contract extension, 4 years, $212 million, Marv. Was that the right decision by the Dolphins to sign Tua to that extension?
It's the going marker for top tier quarterbacks in the NFL. Dak about to get more than that. So I hope we ask the same question when Dak get his money. But yes, what other choice did Miami have? In the first 2 years, Miami lacked a lot of continuity with Tua. I think they might have had 3 offensive coordinators, maybe 2 different quarterback coaches. So he didn't have a lot of continuity. By the way, Tua Roll Tide. Under McDaniels since I think it's 2022. He's 67% pass completed a passing. He led the league in passing yards. He had a career high. He played a full season last year. Just kind of reading off some of his stats right now. He had the 4th most passing yards at 8,172, 5th most touchdowns in the NFL, 54, passer rating of 102, 67.4 completion percentage. You're not giving him the money. I don't understand what the conversation is about. The only concern that you had about Tua was his durability. He played every game last year. Is that durability still a concern for you and giving him all that money? I mean, I think any NFL player is durability is a concern. Anybody can go down with an injury in the NFL at any given time. It's what the market demands. He's a top tier quarterback in this league. I mean, what is the alternative? So yeah, I think Miami did the right thing. I think Tua was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There's some stuff he needs to improve. He needs to improve, some of the improvisation. He needs to improve, his time and his release. I think they said he was great when it was 2.5 seconds or less. When it was over that, he struggled a little bit. So yeah, there's things that he needs to improve. But the market warrants this, and I think they did the right thing.
And I do agree with you. I mean, look, I'm high on Tua. I like Tua. I like he's a very accurate passer. He throws on timing. Led the league, as you said, in passing yards. There's nothing to not like about Tua. And so I think the Dolphins did the right thing. Lock him up. They only they guaranteed $164 million. They backloaded some of the contract. So it was a good contract for both the Dolphins and Tua. They could have let Tua play it out this year and went into the free agent market. There'll be a couple of free agent quarterbacks out there that they possibly could have went to. But I think for the Dolphins and for what Mike McDaniel wants in a quarterback, I think it was perfect for them. Pay him, keep the continuity with the team going. Hey, they added OBJ. They're gonna have a three-headed monster at wide receiver. So I think it was a great pick, and I think the Dolphins did the right thing by securing him up for another 4 years. Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah. But let me ask you this. In the same breath, Jordan Love got paid as well. What are your thoughts on Green Bay paying Jordan Love a little bit more than Tua? His average is $55 million a year. What are your thoughts about Jordan Love?
I mean, again, the market warrants it, and I think that you saw last year what Jordan Love is capable of. So he's a great young quarterback. I don't know if I'm going to put great, but he was a really good young quarterback last year. He had time to sit and learn a little bit while he was in Green Bay, and I think you saw that come to fruition last year. Went out and tore a new butthole in Dallas. So for that alone, in the playoffs, he deserved his money. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think Green Bay has their quarterback of the future. And I think if you feel that way, you tighten them up. I mean, that's what the market warrants, and I think Green Bay did the right thing also.
Do you pay Jordan Love off of 1 year of success, Marv? That's all he had. He's only had 1 year of success. He's a 64% passer, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He had an excellent second half of the season. I give you that. But do you pay him off of 1 year of success and give him a 4 year, $55 million contract? You always talk about Dak Prescott and what he's not. Do you pay Love off of just 1 year of success and really a strong second half and not a full year?
I mean, I'm gonna use your favorite thing. What have you done for me lately? Right? This is a what have you done for me lately league, right? And that's what he had done for them. He went on. He beat Dallas in a playoff game. I mean, I think he's shown that he can be a franchise quarterback. I don't think there's anybody that's going to sit up here and act like Jordan Love can't play the position. Now, is he going to be an all-time great? No, but how many of them are going to be? This is the way the quarterback position is now. And if you get somebody who you think can lead you to a Super Bowl or lead you to playoff wins, you pay him. So he led them to a playoff victory over the Cowboys and over, aforementioned Dak Prescott and that Cowboys franchise. So yeah, he gets paid. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Look, I like Jordan Love. Jordan Love has a lot of things that he needs to clean up. I mean, footwork wise, throw off platform a lot of the times. There's things to clean up. Now, again, I agree with Elliot. The market is what the market is. But you guys, Jordan Love beat Dallas last year. That's okay. Yeah, that makes his life, great now. He has to come back and do it again, Marv. He has to come back and do it again. The first half of Jordan Love's season wasn't as good as the second half. So we're going to see coming into this year where Jordan Love is. There's a lot of expectations on the Green Bay Packers. People got them in the top 4 of the NFC. So we're going to see if they can continue that momentum with a lot of teams getting better. The Phillies, the Detroits, the Dallases. We'll see where they'll be at this year.
Green Bay made some really good offseason moves. They got Jacobs at running back, another roll tide. But they made some really good moves this offseason. I expect Green Bay to be really well. But listen, if Trevor Lawrence got paid, that started this whole cycle, and we all know how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. But if he got paid, you knew that was going to set off this whole seismic shift of everybody else getting paid. I mean, that kind of set the ball in motion. So if Trevor Lawrence got paid, I'm damn sure okay with Jordan Love getting paid and Tua getting paid. That's for sure.
Okay. That's fair. I'm not in disagreement with you. I just want to temper you guys' excitement, right? I want you in a time where you, Marv, says Dak Prescott shouldn't get $60 million. You're just throwing money at all these young guys who haven't done nothing and haven't had the consistency of a Dak Prescott. So I'm just throwing that out there to make sure that you use the same vigor when you talk about Prescott and
let me throw this back at you then, since that was your argument or your comeback to me. We also have 8 years of empirical evidence about Dak Prescott too, and one playoff win. So is one playoff win over an 8-year span worth $60 million? I would say it's not.
He has two playoff wins, but that's not the point. The point is,
so that is the point. That is the point. You're saying that these guys have done nothing to prove that they really worth this money. Well, he's proven that he's not really worth the investment because he's got 2 playoff wins in 8 years, going on 9 years. So you're gonna pay a 2 playoff winning quarterback $60 million? Come on, man.
The Dallas Cowboys.
But the market warrants it, right? The market warrants it.
Dak Prescott, as I have to remind you every week, was the second best quarterback in the league. Yes, he was second in the MVP voting.
Sure.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So he deserved everything that he's gotten. So let's stop there. Ray Blackwell.
The market warrants it. You're right.
Jaden Daniels is going to be the top paid quarterback of all time. Look, Ray, get off of that. Get off the weed. Look, I like Jaden Daniels. To be determined on Jaden Daniels. I love his college career. He did a lot of running. He throws a great deep ball. But I want to see it on the field with Jaden Daniels and not just all this talk when he's throwing against air in training camp. So we'll move on. Marv, your Pittsburgh Steelers. Right? I know you're a Steelers fan. A lot of people don't know that. Marv's a Steelers fan because he never talked about the Steelers. All he talked about is Dallas. I think he's a closet Cowboy fan, but that's okay. Who should start for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Russell Wilson or Jordan Fields? I'm gonna open it up with you, Marv.
I mean, I think this is a no-brainer. You start Russell Wilson. I think you start the Super Bowl winning quarterback that has 9 Pro Bowls. I mean, I think he gives the Steelers the best chance to win and to start off well, right? So I think you start Russell. I think that the move to get Justin Fields was great. If you watched him statistically last year, I think Russell beat him in all major statistical categories last year. Yeah. So I think coming into this, you have to say or presume that Russell Wilson will be the best fit right now for the Steelers. Now, if Justin Fields can figure out consistency, I think that's been his biggest bugaboo with him is his accuracy and consistency. If he can find a way to figure that out, then you've got a franchise quarterback of the future, because we know athletically all the other gifts are there for Justin Fields. But this is a passing league, and if he can't pass the football consistently or accurately, or can't find a way to settle in to become that guy, then he's just going to be potential. And we know how far potential can get you if you don't ever kind of, realize it. So I think Russell Wilson initially is going to give them the best chance to win, to start off strong. That division is going to be hell. I don't think you can really play around with that starting off with Baltimore and Cincinnati and Cleveland with Deshaun coming back. We still got to see what Deshaun is going to be, and Pittsburgh. That division is going to be hell. So you want to give yourself the best opportunity to start off fast, and I think Russell gives them the best shot.
Should they play both of them, Mark? Is it a deal where they should have a package for Justin Fields as a change of pace quarterback?
No.
And have and let Russell start. Larry Butts, I like that. He's a Steeler fan as well. Russell Wilson, the experience counts for something. I like that. Look, you guys keep talking about Justin Fields. Justin Fields didn't have anything last year. Terrible offensive line. Terrible offensive line. Right. Receiver. He had one receiver. That was DJ Moore, right? His running backs got hurt, and he was the running back and the quarterback for Chicago last year. So we're not giving Justin Fields enough credit. He completed 61% of his passes, Russell 66%, right? They both had the same yards per attempt at 6.9, and their QBR is very similar. Russell's at 50.7, Justin at 4.6. I'll say this: I agree that Russell should start. But I think that the Steelers would be doing themselves a disservice if they don't have a package for Justin Fields. He's way too talented of a player not to have on the field. So yeah, experience matters, but I do think you have to use Justin Fields in certain packages and give him a series.
Oh,
Look,
let me
go ahead, Mark.
let me ask you this, Leah, under the same vein. And I don't mean to keep bringing up the Cowboys, but in the same vein, then let me ask you a question to kind of rebut that. So you have Dak Prescott
Right.
and you have Trey Lance behind Dak, right?
What about it?
Is that not the same conversation that we need to start having about why don't you have a package for Trey Lance? Do you believe the Cowboys should have a package? I mean, because athletically and as
No.
players, they're the same player. So it's
No.
okay for Pittsburgh to have a package for Justin Fields,
No.
but for the Cowboys, it's not okay. I'm just curious, would you feel that way about because they have the same type of backup quarterback in Dallas?
Well, two things. Lance hasn't proven anything in the NFL. He hadn't proven not
Neither
one
has
thing.
Justin.
Justin Fields almost was for 1,000 yards, right? Trey Lance may not even be Dallas's second string quarterback. Cooper Rush is performing better in training camp than Trey Lance. So no, we don't want because. And the other thing is, if I want to run the ball, I can run Dak. Remember that. Dak has wheels as well. So no, there's not the same thing, Marv. I'm trying to help all Steelers. I don't even like the Steelers, and I'm trying to help you guys out.
Let me help all the people who are not Steelers fans. And Magna, I know the intricacies of what's kind of going on in Pittsburgh. So the offensive coordinator that they just hired, if you have any experience with him, you know that he's a 12, 13 personnel type coach, which means that you play real big and you play real heavy, right? 3 tight end sets. The Steelers might have the best tight end room in the NFL, to be quite honest with you. So I mean, if you find one better, let me know, okay? But to me, they probably got so they have probably the best tight end room in football. And when you use 12 and 13 personnel, that means you're going to be play action heavy. That means you're going to have a lot of looks that can look like runs of pass. You put defenses in large pigeonholes when you run heavy packages. And I think that the experience of Russell Wilson being able to get them in and out of things. And I think what Elliott said earlier was spot on. This is the time for Justin Fields to learn how to become a quarterback. This is the time for him to learn how to sit back. There's a lot more that goes to playing quarterback lead in packages and being able to run the damn football. If you watched him last year in Chicago, you could say he had no wide receivers, but he could not hit the side of a damn barn. And that matters in the NFL. If you can't throw accurately, you can't play the position. So he needs to sit back and learn some of this stuff behind a proven veteran. And you were the one that said that this was the best pickup Pittsburgh ever could have got with Russell Wilson. When I said he was trash, Russell. You was the one talking about, and now you're talking about you need to run packages for Justin Fields, man. This in Oklahoma and Jamel Holloway back in the day with the triple option. This is the NFL. So to let Justin sit back and learn the game, man.
No quarterback learns by sitting and watching. That's a fallacy.
Jordan Love did. Aaron Rodgers did.
None of them learn by sitting and watching. You get on the field and you play. That's how you learn. You have to make
ask David Carr how that went.
David Carr, look, David Carr wasn't that good anyway. People thought he was. Okay. He wasn't that good. Let's be honest. A lot of people have taken a beating. David Carr wasn't that good. But no quarterback learns by sitting and watching. That they have to play to get better. That's how you play. And all I'm saying is, Marv, I love Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson as a starter. I think Russell's going to play well. I think people threw dirt over Russell Wilson last year with Sean Payton, and that wasn't the answer. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 66% completion rate, 98 rating. He played very well last year. The question here is, do you keep a talent like Justin Fields off the field when he can add something to your football team? And let me say this. There's a reason when you talk about Arthur Smith like he's the greatest coach and other. There's a reason Arthur Smith is not in Atlanta anymore because you're trying to fit a square into a round peg. So use the players that you have on the team and all of them to make your team successful. A package for Justin Fields, I think it would be smart.
So what package are they? I mean, Justin Fields can't. I don't understand the package that you implement for Justin Fields when he struggles with accuracy and consistency. He's not scaring anybody. He's not scaring anybody with his arm, Lee. Like, so what package are we running?
Justin Fields has a very, very strong arm. He can make all the throws.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you about. Having a strong arm does not mean that you have consistency or accuracy. There are two different damn things.
So let me answer the question, Marv. Pittsburgh offensive line much better than Chicago's line last year. Give that man time. Give him a series or two. Put him in special situations. Let me say something. 3rd and 3 is an ideal down for Justin Fields. An ideal down for Justin Fields. You can run option. You can roll him out, pass option. Those are ideal downs for Justin Fields. Let that man get some playing time so that you can see what you have and use all of the players that you have on the team. Russell should start. I'm with you on that. But to not have a package, to me, for Justin Fields, I think the Steelers are hurting themselves. I don't even like the Steelers, but I think that they're hurting themselves. I'm more of a Mike Tomlin fan. I think they're hurting themselves if they don't let Fields have a package to play in.
I see no other NFL team running packages for backup quarterbacks. So
no other team has,
I don't know why
has a talent like Justin Fields as the number 2 quarterback either. No other team has a starter in the league that rushed for almost 1,000 yards.
And if a team felt like they could build around him, he would still be a starter in the league and still be in Chicago. They wouldn't have been drafting the number 1 quarterback and letting him leave. I mean, there's a flip side to that coin as well, Lee. Just because you feel a certain way about him don't mean that it's actual reality. Like they let him go.
Caleb Williams is a better talent than Justin Fields. That's just the way it is. That's why Chicago got him. But that doesn't mean that Fields is not a starter. Fields is a starter in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. I do agree. Let's go with Russell Wilson. I'm trying to help you guys out, Larry. I'm trying to help you out. My facts are on point. You have to use the talent that's on your team. Justin Fields is a talented football player, and you've seen 3 or 4 years of that to show that he has talent to play in the NFL. Let's move on.
Is Trey Lance talented?
Trey Lance, we have not seen anything from Trey Lance in the National Football League to say that he has any talent to play in the National.
So you think he's not talented then?
I think he hasn't shown me anything in the National Football League to say that he deserved to get on the field at all. That's what I'm saying about Trey Lance. Now, you can't say the same about Justin Fields. We've seen 60-yard touchdown runs. We've seen beautiful touchdown passes. We've seen that from Justin Fields. He has tape that says he can be a starter in the NFL. So he and Trey Lance, they don't even compete with each other because Trey Lance hasn't done anything in the National Football League to show
I mean, Gardner Minshew got tape, and he's led teams to wins and playoff wins. I mean, should they be running special packages for him too?
Gardner Minshew's going to start for the Raiders. I mean, so what are we talking about?
I mean, he's been a backup all his life is what I was talking about. He was behind Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he had no packages behind him.
He started.
He's about to be a starter.
And he played well for Indianapolis last year. So Minshew has tape that says he can win football games for you. Trey Lance doesn't have anything. We're going to move on, Marv. We're going to stay on the NFL game. So I wanted to know, Marv, we was talking about this a few days ago. Who is the top 5 greatest NFL running backs to play in the National Football League? And Marv, do you want me to go first? Because I mean, I'll give you my list first. I'll give you my list first. It's a great list. I think all of you guys are going to be able to appreciate my list because it's based off of fact. So my number five, Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson is my number 5. Most yards in a single season. Set the rookie rushing record with the Los Angeles Rams. If Dickerson hadn't have left the Rams, he probably would be the all-time leading rusher because John Robinson had the perfect running back, and he's a blend of power and speed. My number 5, Eric Dickerson. My number 4, Walter Payton. 3 MVPs, 9-time Pro Bowlers. Look, I think he has 21,800 all-purpose yards. A gold standard. Could block, could catch the ball out of the backfield. My number 3, Walter Payton, great running back, all-time great. My number 3 running back, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, right? Barry Sanders, 2 MVPs, 4 rushing titles, 10 Pro Bowls. Never really led his team to anything in the playoffs, Marv. That's why I knock him down a little bit. But Barry Sanders, a great running back. Have all the moves. Probably the most electrifying running back to ever play in the national. He and Gale Sayers. But my number 3 is Barry Sanders. Number 2, Emmitt Smith, the all-time leading rusher in the National Football League. 21,574 all-purpose yards. Number 1 in rushing touchdowns all time. Number 1 now in rushing touchdowns all time. I think Emmitt won 4 rushing titles, 2 MVPs. My number 2 is Emmitt Smith. And number 1, Jim Brown. Led the league in rushing 8 of his 9 years in the National Football League. The only running back in National Football League history to average over 100 yards rushing in a single game. His average is 104. 2 MVPs, and just a great running back, a blend of size and speed, all-time greatest. So I'll give you it again. 5 is Dickerson, 4 is Walter Payton, 3 is Barry Sanders, 2 is Emmitt Smith, and 1 is Jim Brown. Mark, what do you think about my list first, and then give me your list of the top 5 greatest running backs of all time?
I mean, I'm not mad at the list. I think it's valid. I don't think it's a bad list. I don't know if I got Eric Dickerson on there, but you used Barry to lead his team to a playoff, but Eric Dickerson sure is. I mean, I think he led them to 1, and he got mutilated by Chicago in that fog bowl that they played in. But it's not a bad list. It's not a bad list. So I'm not going to go through all the statistical stuff with him because we do that ad nauseum sometimes. People don't want to hear that. Number 5 for me is Gale Sayers. That's just, I know he got cut short by injury, but I don't think anybody that's ever watched footage or heard about Gale Sayers, he says he wouldn't have computed to one of the best running backs of all time. So I'm gonna go with Gale Sayers. Number 4 for me is LaDainian Tomlinson. So a lot of people talk about, statistically, I don't know if you can find another a better back during the time that LaDainian played or even after, with all the things that he did well. I mean, he caught it well. He ran it well. He was MVP one year. He led that Chargers team, I think, with Phillip Rivers to some playoffs. So LaDainian to me was special. I love LaDainian Tomlinson. Number 3 is Emmitt. As much as I'm not a Cowboy fan, I don't think I can really hate on Emmitt Smith. I mean, he was a hell of a running back. He was, I don't think Emmitt was the most talented physically or athletically, but there's things that you can't teach. And Emmitt was one of those dudes that you just couldn't teach the will and the heart and what he did. So, I got to give respect to Emmitt. Emmitt was a bad boy. He was from where was he from? In Florida, down there by close to Bruton, all my Bruton people, down in Pensacola. So Pensacola. So, I got to put him at number 3. Number 2 to me is Barry. Enough said. I think the non-winning is a factor, but I mean, you watch Barry and you can't tell me that there was somebody that was more talented than Barry on a football field. Number 1, I think everybody knows Jim Brown. Man, you said all you needed to say about Jim Brown, best running back ever to me. I don't think that's even a debate. And I think everybody should have Jim Brown number 1. Nancy, Billy Sims was great. He just didn't sustain it for long, but I used to love watching Billy Sims too in Detroit uniform. There's a lot of other OJ we could put there. I mean, Earl Campbell for sure. But, the sustainability with Earl, he just got hurt too much because of his style. Bo Jackson, no, he never, Bo was electric, but I'm just looking at some of these. But he just didn't sustain it long enough, just like Herschel Walker and some of the other people that we could talk about.
Yeah, but Bo probably is the most talented running back to ever play football. From a size, speed component, Bo just didn't play long enough. But if you talk about talent, Bo had more talent than probably all of those running backs from what he could do. I want to address something because I see these comments coming in, Marvin. It always blows my mind when I hear this. Ray Blackwell, Emmitt was behind the Hall of Fame offensive line. Trash. Baby boy, Barry number 2, he earned his yards without a line his whole career. This line stuff. You don't gain a lot of yards without a good offensive line. That's a fallacy, y'all. And the bottom line is, for what Barry did in running the football, he had the type of line he needed. He didn't need a power running line. They opened holes, and Barry dipped and dodged and changed directions and came around and went the other way in reverse. That was the type of line that he needed. Emmitt Smith, power line, right? Broke tackles, run after the catch. He caught the ball out of the backfield. He picked up the blitz. He did everything you would ever want in a running back. So it always bothers me when people talk about Emmitt Smith's line, because it's a fallacy that Barry Sanders had me, you, and Cassius blocking for him, Mar. That wasn't the case. He had a line, okay? So I'm sorry. I just wanted to address
I got, I look. Playing running back in the NFL is hard. You don't do the things that Emmitt Smith did without being really, really good. I don't care who he had blocking for him. I hate on Dallas, but I'm not gonna hate on Emmitt, because Emmitt was a bad boy. So we can't do that. But there's two guys that nobody ever talks about. I see all these people that we're mentioning, but Curtis Martin was a damn good running back that a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to, because he just didn't win a lot. He was with the Jets and with New England, but Curtis Martin was a damn good running back. And there's also somebody else that we don't give a lot of love to, but Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was a damn good running back as well. So I think if you put them in the conversation, I wouldn't be mad at you, because I think that they were really, really good, and people don't talk about that enough. But Marcus Allen was really, really good.
Marcus Allen. And then the last one I'll throw out there was Marshall Faulk, Mar.
Marshall
Faulk was special. I mean, when you think about everything that Marshall Faulk did, running the football, catching the ball, he could line up as a wide receiver. Just a great all-time great. Earl Campbell as well. It's the longevity of the Jim Browns, winning 8 out of 8 rushing titles in 9 years, the longevity of Walter Payton, and the longevity of Emmitt Smith puts them just a cut above the rest of those running backs and what their accomplishments were. Emmitt Smith has 175 touchdowns in his NFL career. 175 touchdowns. The only one that's close to him on that list is Marshall Faulk with 162. When you look at Walter Payton, he had 125 total touchdowns. So that's just some comparisons on the work that Emmitt Smith did in his career.
I think we do need to add, though, and I think some people are making really, really good points here. Barry Sanders did play with some really bad teams. I mean, we got to give Barry Sanders some credit, man. Those offensive lines that he ran behind were really, really bad. Detroit was really, really bad. All my family know they from Detroit. Like, Detroit was bad. So I'm not saying that he didn't have some good lines, but for the majority of his career, Barry was creating a lot of that stuff on his own. And if we gonna give props to Emmitt for all of that he did, we got to at least say that Barry was really, really special, because most running backs, if they played behind what Barry played, wouldn't even sniff what he did. So we gotta give some props to that, because he did play behind a really bad offensive line.
I think the teams were bad. The line wasn't. The teams were bad. The lines weren't. And I think that's always been the fallacy about Barry Sanders.
Well,
he played on some bad teams, but Lomas Brown and those guys were good offensive linemen. The teams were bad, just not the offensive line. That's what I would say. How I would answer that question. Barry Sanders is a great running back, but yeah. Let's catch up on a few comments here. Ray Blackwell, Barry Sanders did not have a line. He would have, if he had Emmitt's line, he would have stayed. I don't want to hear that, Ray. Come on, give me something better. Larry Butts, did Barry have a Pro Bowl line? He had 3 Pro Bowlers that played in front of him. And I'll name those guys. Nancy McQuiston agreed. Marcus Allen's a great running back. Al Davis messed Marcus Allen up as being an all-time great. Yeah. Elliott Lyons, Barry Sanders would probably be the all-time leading rusher had he not walked away too soon. He was as special as a running back could ever be. Yeah, he was. Barry chose to walk away because his team wasn't winning. Not because he had a bad line. I think that's the fallacy that people have to stop saying. He had a bad line. No, he had bad teams. Kippy Bannister, thanks for bringing up Marcus Allen's name. he was a bad boy too. I agree with that. So Marvin, let's jump into the
Well,
next topic. I think all.
hold on,
Thanks for all the topics.
real quick before we jump into that. Just one thing I want to say. I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Detroit had two of some of the all-time greats walk away just because of how bad the franchise has been. Let's keep that in consideration too when you're talking about Barry and Megatron. Two of them in their prime walk away, so there is some credence to how bad Detroit was. So that's all I want to say.
Bad teams, absolutely bad teams. I wouldn't say bad lines. Bad teams. Megatron couldn't have caught all those balls if somebody wasn't blocking for the quarterback. Now, y'all, we have to stop that when we talk about bad lines so much. Bad teams, I get it. Bad teams, but a line is different when we talk about teams. Let's jump into our next topic here. And I really want to get your opinion on this. This is a good one for me because I see the tea leaves on the wall, the writing on the wall with this. So Texas and Oklahoma, they're coming into the SEC next year, right? We have Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA coming into the Big Ten. Big Ten will have 18 teams. The SEC will have 16 teams, Marv. And it just dawned on me, man. I'm like, you know what? The Big Ten is really catching up with the SEC. Couple of facts, and I want to give it to you. The SEC signed a great media deal. All the media partners extended the SEC's contract, gave them $3 billion over a $3 billion contract. The Big Ten signed for $7 billion, right? The Big Ten is bi-coastal now. They have teams on the East Coast, the central part of the United States, and the West Coast. It's a league that stretches across all of the United States. I really love that about the Big Ten. And look, they brought some talented teams into the conference. And so, I'm looking at it as, hey, the Big Ten right there neck and neck, and they may be inching past the SEC. Mark, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't even know. Is this a serious question?
Very serious. It's a very serious.
What makes the Big Ten even halfway comparable to the SEC? So let's just throw some numbers out real quick. So top, 2024 preseason, 5 at a top 10, 5 of them are SEC schools. Big Ten has 2. Right? Maybe 3 if you want to throw Michigan around there to give them props for winning last year. But we know they're going to take a step back too. If you're saying Alabama going to take a step back, Michigan damn well going to take a step back. But they got 5 teams in the top 10, right? The 2 top Heisman hopefuls are in the SEC, right? I mean, let's just say that. So the Big Ten is top heavy. If you want to say the SEC.
What are their names? The
Brock
Heisman hopefuls?
Brock Ewers and Carson Beck.
Neither one of them will win the Heisman, but go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, whatever you want to say, this is what all the national pundits are saying. They're the top 2 candidates, okay? So the Big Ten is real top heavy. They got 5 teams within the top 25. SEC got 5 within the top 10. Let's just stop. So, and if you want to count now, I'm the type of person that thinks about people who actually win. Not about some bi-coastalness and about some TV deals and about bringing an Oregon team that has never won a national championship in their damn existence and a Washington team that just lost their best damn coach that they've ever had to we all know where he went, what he about to do. Okay, fine. That's last year. So what have you done for me lately type deal, right? Okay. So we're going to talk about the past. Let's just go on to talk about the past then. The Big Ten got 3 titles since 2003. The SEC got 16. With 7 damn different schools. If you want to count Texas and Oklahoma, if you don't want to count them, we got 5 different teams since 2000 that got national titles. To even act like the big team is in the same stratosphere as the SEC is blasphemous. Yeah, people just do this to have some type of argument, but the proof is in the pudding. And like you like statistics, right? That's the statistic that you're looking for. We talking about national titles. The Big Ten got 2 schools that won. Michigan won 1 last year, so fine. You got 3 schools you got 3 damn national titles. You got 3 damn national titles since 2000 compared to 6 damn teams from the SEC. Anybody who knows football knows that the SEC is king. It will always be king. And I don't care how many damn teams the Big Ten want to add. They can go ahead and add the damn Dallas Cowboys to the damn Big Ten for some more media rights money. You still going to be trash. And you still going to be looking up at the SEC. And you got 5 teams in the SEC this year that could potentially win a national title. You got
No, you
maybe
don't.
one in
No,
that.
you don't.
You got one.
No, you don't.
You do. You
You
got
have one
LSU. You got
team.
Bama. You got Texas. You got Georgia, and probably Ole Miss. You got 5 teams that could potentially win a title. Name 5 in the Big Ten that could.
First of all, the only team in the SEC that can win a title next year is Georgia. Stop off. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
I
Alabama
don't
won't
have to
be
believe
there.
the hype. I don't have to
Ole
believe the
Miss
hype,
won't
Lee.
be there with Georgia.
This is every year. What hype are you
Michigan can
talking
win the
about?
Michigan can win the title. They're coming
Michigan.
back strong. They're deep. Ohio State can win the title last year and next year, and Oregon can win the title next year. In the Big Ten.
I'm so tired of hearing about Oregon.
Oregon
If they
can win
have
the
more
title.
titles than they had, if they have more titles than they did uniforms, then maybe we could start talking about them. But until they actually win a damn title, then we'll talk about them. But until then, there's only one team in the Big Ten that can win a title, and that's Ohio State. Nobody else in the Big Ten getting close.
The SEC has always been top heavy. They've always been top heavy. I've always made the argument.
So is the Big Ten. So is the Big Ten.
The SEC is top heavy, and I like that about them. You know, Alabama, Georgia, LSU. You know, LSU. Hopefully they'll come back. They're still kind of suspect, but they've always been top heavy. But when you get to the second half, when you get through the top 5 teams in the SEC, I'll take those other teams in the Big Ten any day.
Who?
You know,
UCLA.
Those bottom
the hell out of here, Lee. You back on the dream team argument. You sound crazy right now.
More than that, Washington and Oregon can handle any other teams between 4 and 16 of in the SEC. Washington and Oregon can take care of those guys.
Man, y'all sound crazy, man. I don't even have a debate because you won 3 titles in since 2000, and now we acting like the damn Big Ten. The Big Ten been relevant for one damn year with Michigan winning it last year. Okay, we acting like the last time we saw Ohio State on the national platform, Bama was spanking that ass. So I don't know what we're talking about here, man. You talking about an Oregon team that ain't never won none? UCLA.
Look, Marv,
UCLA.
Look. Every time when the dam starts to crack, people start to look. We get it now.
16 titles with 7 different schools since 2000. I don't know what cracking that is.
NIL is a game changer, and what you're going to
Bama
see,
got the number one recruiting class with the NIL.
And start to take over, especially in recruiting, because they're bi-coastal. That's why I mentioned the bi-coastalness of the Big Ten recruiting. That's going to help.
Hey, Lee, let me let you in on a little fact. 4 of the 5 top recruiting classes are from the SEC. So put that in your NIL pipe and smoke it. Not the Big Ten. So stop it. This misconception that the SEC has no money is crazy. All my SEC people, we just need to stop this blasphemy conversation because that's all this is. This is just smoke. We all know what the real college football conference is. We all know. I mean, like I said, the numbers don't lie.
Look. It's hard sometimes when you're losing grip. And when you see a new sheriff, and I appreciate you, Ray Blackwell, about the new sheriff. When you see a new sheriff in town, it's hard when you start to see that dam starting to have some cracks and start to break.
What new sheriff are we talking about?
Georgia is the top team in the SEC. Alabama going to take a step back. I do like Texas, but I don't think Texas will win a national title. I like, as I said last week, I like Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship game. But Marv, Ohio State probably one loss team.
I'll give you Ohio State. Michigan is going to be trash.
Michigan
they have lost everybody. They're going to have a great defense, and they're not going to be able to score with anybody this year. They don't have McCarthy. They don't have a running back anymore, Corum. They lost a lot of people. And by the way, they lost something. You know, we'll let this all play out, people, because I don't know what I don't know.
You got.
I guess if you say something long enough, you can believe it.
The SEC people get in their feelings, and I hate this. Everybody get in their feelings when somebody says they're rivals. Look, the Big Ten is coming. They're coming. It's a fact. Everybody knows it.
We've been hearing this since 2000. We've been hearing this since 2000, and y'all got 3 damn titles. Every damn year. Whoever the Big Ten is, every year I hear the same damn argument from everybody about the SEC. They taking a step back. Ohio State, you got 3 damn titles since 2000. Just
Well,
stop.
we're not talking about
Just
since
stop.
2000. We're talking about 2024 and beyond. So you're
16,
living in the past.
16. I'm
2024
not
and
living in the
beyond
past.
with the teams
16
that they've
national
gotten.
titles, Lee. 16,
Okay,
man.
but
7
we're
different
talking
damn
about
schools.
yeah, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
the talent was concentrated in the SEC. Now it's spread out. I love what
Top
the Big Ten
four,
is doing.
top four
And we'll
recruiting
see.
classes in the country in the SEC. What talent is getting spread out? We spreading it out in the SEC. Top 4
Yeah.
out of the 5 top recruiting class. It ain't Colorado. The only team in the Big Ten that's in there is Ohio State. It isn't Michigan. Don't talk about Penn State with sorry ass
Yeah.
James Franklin. Let's
Penn
not
State
talk
has won
about
10
them.
games a year. But
Yep, and
look,
they
Bob,
just like Dallas.
Okay. That we're gonna end on that point. Look, you SEC people, settle down. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Football is what it is. The Big Ten is coming. Hey, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do my first closing comments part because I'm gonna let you settle down. You kind of I see steam coming off your head through your hat, so I'm gonna say mine first. Look. There's been a lot of talk about, and you brought them up, the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders and what they're going to do this year. What I want to congratulate the Buffaloes on, they have the highest GPA average of their players as far as team success academically than they've ever had in the last 20 years for the team. Deion, you're doing a fabulous job with educating young men on the facts of life, not only on the field, but in the classroom. I commend you for that, brother. Keep educating those boys and go Buffaloes. And Marvin, I'll turn it over to you.
I mean, that's an interesting statistic considering that they brought in 40 new guys and they lost almost half of their football team, and they really only had a summer where the new academic season has kind of come out.
A lot of them enrolled early, Marvin.
I don't really know how you claim they've only been in school for a semester, so I don't really know how you claim that title. But we're gonna let you have that one, man, because you searching for something.
That's your closing comments, Marv?
That's my closing comment, man. That's my closing comment, man.
Look, guys, it's been another great show. I appreciate all the comments. Look, I know, guys, that the SEC is near and dear to your heart. Look, facts. I'm from the state of Arkansas. I love SEC football. I'm right there with the University of Arkansas, but I have to be honest on this show. I just can't just do things and say things that are not true. I try to be as honest as possible, so I have to say what I feel to be the facts. But look, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend about the show. We do this every week. We just want to say, guys, keep watching, keep telling a friend, and look, we'll be back next Sunday at 6 p.m. Don't forget our T-shirt challenge. If you refer 10 people to sign up for After the Buzzers and ISF Productions, you'll win we'll send you a free After the Buzzers T-shirt. So please help us out as we get likes to the show. Hey, it's been a great show. We'll talk to you next week. I'm Lee Jones for the Hall of Famer Marvin Orange. We'll see you next week.